Clemson defensive end Myles Murphy looks the part. He's a big, physical, strong player, a long, linear defensive end. Not an explosive player, but what he does do is he transitions from power to speed, and I think that's going to make him a factor for any team that drafts him right away. He's going to be a put his hand on the ground defensive end. He's going to be able to anchor in against the run. We saw that at Clemson. Is he as twitchy as you'd like at that position? Probably not, but I think he can develop into a good quality pass rusher once he develops some moves, and that might take a little time. But he will be a day one starter. Who is he? He's Jason Pierre-Paul. That's the comparison for Myles Murphy.
DJ Turner at 5'11", 178 pounds is a cornerback out of Michigan. Fantastic footwork and technique at the line of scrimmage. His footwork is quiet and busy, which allows him the ability to press without using his hands. That's a skill in and of itself. Also, when you look at what he brings to the table, he's very fluid as an athlete, has the ability to turn and run with the receiver going deeper down the field, which allows him to stick in man coverage very well. Now, where he has to get better and what he has to improve on moving forward is outside of man coverage is something that he has to get better at. He's not that great in zone. In zone, he tends to widen out a little bit, losing traction and feel of the receiver, which puts him in no man's land out there in space. So he has to tighten that up as he makes the jump to the NFL level.
Jordan Battle coming from the University of Alabama, 6'1", 206, good size. We don't know exactly how fast he is, but when you turn the tape, he is always where he needs to be. Not to mention a good communicator in the back end, the ultimate traffic cop, keeping everything in front of him. He understands depth. He plays with proper angles. Not to mention leverage and containment and run support. He understands and knows how to set the edge, keeping everything in front of him. And one thing you don't question in regards to safety play coming from Alabama. They're well coached, they're dependable, and they play hard. That's one thing about safeties coming from the University of Alabama. He is in the same position, in the same category. NFL player comp to Mr. Jordan Battle. Justin Reed, guy who just won the Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs, big time playmaker for the Chiefs. The same can be said for Jordan Battle in regards to whatever team decides to draft him.
All right, let's talk about Big Ten wide receiver Charlie Jones out of Purdue. When you think about him, think about consistency. If you're going to draft him, you're going to get a contribution in a couple different areas, not only as a wide receiver, but this is a guy that can come in to a team and make an immediate impact on special teams as a punt returner. You love his demeanor. The scouts, the GMs around the league, they talk about his demeanor. He's a warrior type on the field, grinds every day. Kind of in your face, out there on the edge, trying to make big plays, trying to do everything he can as a teammate to make his team better and that offense better. And he's had a lot of success at Purdue. One of his greatest skills is run after the catch. So you put him in an offense where quarterback can hit him in stride, he'll give you those extra yards. I think he's going to be a 4th or 5th rounder. In terms of a comp, he kind of reminds me of Kiki Kuti out of the 2018 NFL draft.
Illinois running back Chase Brown is an Ontario native that finished his prep career in the state of Florida. He has had a very wild journey, but now finds himself on the doorstep of his NFL dream. His twin brother Sidney is also a safety prospect in this class. Brown is short, but he plays with good strength. He is willing to stick his nose in and block, but is more of a speed bump at this point in his development. The running back does a great job breaking his feet down in space and changing directions. Brown, who is a Western Michigan transfer, could be more physical through contact, but he tested off the charts at the NFL Combine. He ran the 40-yard dash in 4.43 seconds with a 1.53 second 10-yard split. We have compared him to current Philadelphia Eagles running back Kenneth Gainwell. Princeton wide receiver Andre Iosivas is an incredibly intelligent young man that does a good job of high-pointing the football. Iosivas has smaller hands, which could lead to problems catching the ball cleanly. He does a good job of tracking the ball downfield with easy speed. Iosivas' play strength needs to improve, allowing him to become more physical through his routes. Iosivas blended in at the Reese's Senior Bowl, but tested off the charts at the NFL Combine. He ran the 40-yard dash in 4.43 seconds with a 1.52 second 10-yard split. The Ivy League track star also had a 39-inch vertical jump and a 10 feet 8-inch broad jump. He has the athletic qualities to develop at the next level, but will probably begin his career as a role player. We have compared him to Colts wide receiver Alec Pierce. Washington offensive lineman Jackson Kirkland is a versatile prospect that has started at 3 different positions for the Huskies, including left tackle, over the course of his career. Projected to play inside at the next level, Kirkland struggles with balance and countering rushers. He needs to do a better job of sinking his hips to absorb contact and pass protection, and he can do a better job of sustaining blocks in space. Kirkland is a fiery competitor who served as a captain in 2022. If able to stay healthy, it would not be a surprise if the former Husky eventually found his way into a starting role. We have compared him to current Lions offensive guard Logan Stenberg.
Shaka Hayward, linebacker at the University of Duke. He's got good length and ability for a player who is a hard-hitting, off-the-ball linebacker. His body type and physicality will be the most attractive traits to teams, in particular looking for him to play special teams early on, but as he develops into an impactful player on defense. He does a good job of shedding blocks versus the run. He needs to improve on his coverage skills and his play diagnosis. He reminds me a bit, given his frame, of Troy Dye when he was coming out of University of Oregon, who's now with the Minnesota Vikings.